Hi everybody, I'm Amy and I want to give you the turnaround, the thought that you want to switch when you have the fear, the worry, the doubt, the insecurity, the limiting belief, the conclusion, the assumption, whatever you want to call it, that because you have not personally experienced or manifested this one particular thing that you want before, you're now thinking, because I haven't done that, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if it's possible for me. I don't know how to feel it. I don't know what that would feel like. And you see this as a limitation. The solution is extremely simple. And that is to start telling yourself, there's a first time for everything. So like I said, my name is Amy. I help people manifest. That's what I do. So if you like the content on my channel, you can subscribe, hit the bell icon, like the video, share the video, comment, and let's get back to this because this is really important. So there's two ways that this plays out. The first way is when someone is manifesting something that they've personally never experienced, but they see other people have. So if you're manifesting your first job or your first relationship or like your first big lump sum of money and you've never personally done it, but you've seen other people do it, you know it can be done. Other people do it all the time. In that case, you can say, there's a first time for everything. There's a first time for everything I've ever done. If they can do it, I can do it. So this is how you start talking to yourself to water down that doubt, right? Because you don't want that doubt to become too big of a limitation, although it is normal to think, well, can I do it? That's a normal thought. You just want it to be a minor normal thought, not a major normal thought, if that makes sense. So you start telling yourself, there's a first time for everything. There's a first time for me to be able to do it. If they can do it, I can do it. They were also in the same position I was, because everybody who does something does it for the first time and they get over that hump without having done it before. So I want to stop and really, really hit home with this because this is a very logical turnaround. This is a very believable turnaround for most people to release this fear and doubt. Did you know, not to be weird, that you used to be in a sperm and in an egg, and then they met? And you became you. That's the first time you became you. And there was a first time that you cried, a first time that you took a breath in this physical reality, the first time you walked, first time you talked, first time you rode a bike if you ever ridden a bike before, first time you drove a car, first kiss, first date, first day of school, first job, first time you took public transportation by yourself if you've done that, right? So everything has a first. And when you start to really bring in this idea, like, wait a minute, yeah, there is a first time for everything. And every person who's ever done something for the first time hadn't previously done it, they still were able to do it. It's super common. Then all of a sudden that thought, well, am I going to be able to do it, is super minor and doesn't have a whole lot of weight to it anymore because you have brought this really strong, believable logic into play. So this is one way to counter a negative, limiting doubt, limiting belief. Just find something believable to counter it with. So let's say you are in the other boat and you are like, Amy, not only am I concerned that I'm not going to be able to pull this off, that I'm going to be able to manifest this, because I've never done it before, but I've never seen anyone in the history of mankind do it either. So if I were to do it, I would be the first one. Well, congratulations. That's still possible. Of course it is. For you, you want to do the same thing. There's a first time for everything. I'm just going to be the first person to do it that I know of. And this might be in your personal sphere. It might be the first time you do something in all the people that you know. It may be the first time you do something that you've never heard anybody else do. Now, in this case, you're going to have a little bit more of the thought. Again, very normal. You don't need to get rid of it. Am I going to be able to do it? I am going to guess that the Wright brothers who were working on the airplane and Thomas Edison with the light bulb, I'm going to guess that they had that thought too, and they still succeeded. I don't want to leave Nikola Tesla out, by the way. I feel like he's like never discussed. He figured a ton of stuff out that nobody ever gives him credit for, so shout out to that man. So I just want to say that when you are trying to manifest something that's never been done before, you want to go on the internet or you want to research people throughout the history of time who were the first person to do it. They were met with a lot of opposition. They were told it can't be done, or just you want to stick to yourself with this. You want to find success stories like the guy who ran the first 4-minute mile that we have record of, right? So the guy who ran the first, I can't even believe I'm saying this and I don't know his name, but the guy who ran the first 4-minute mile, it was like a big deal. But right afterwards, like a bunch of people could do it. He broke that barrier. Once he did it, other people could do it. So this goes back to what I was saying about the other one, the other boat that people are in, where it's like other people can do it, but can I do it? They are literally your evidence that you can do it. All you have to do is deliberately, on purpose, assure yourself, reassure yourself, self-talk, pep talk, speak to yourself lovingly. If they can do it, I can do it. This is for you to raise your self-esteem, raise your self-image, and understand that if it can be done, you can do it. And if you haven't seen it done yet, you can still do it. You just might be the first person, which, by the way, might be really cool to be the first person. So you could also add in, if you're in that boat, you could also add in having in your step 1 of focusing, whether you're imagining or scripting or doing a mental diet, have step 1 of seeing yourself congratulated that you're the first person to do it. Maybe it's a world record, or maybe the first person to pull something off that's really cool or something. You would be recognized for that. So you could imagine that, where you are being acknowledged that you were the first person to do it, because you want to really get into the identity for that. And you might want to have a really strong I am statement that you come up with as well to sort of anchor you into it. What would you think about yourself if you were the one that pulled it off first? So it could be like, I am a trailblazer, I'm a pioneer, I'm the first one, something like that. So find one that you would actually think in that moment and start affirming it now. Again, in manifesting, you are affirming, you are visualizing, you are thinking, seeing, feeling as though you have something. When you're doing step 1, you're doing it even though it's not true yet. That's what manifesting is. You're making it true by giving that instruction to your deeper subconscious mind with your conscious mind. So some people asked how not to feel delusional when they're manifesting. I'm going to make a video about that, but ultimately the easiest way is just don't have expectation, especially if you've never done something before, you've never pulled this off before. Don't expect it. And when I say expect it, I'm not saying don't think it won't work. I'm saying don't expect it like around every corner. Don't keep looking for it. Just do the inner work. So the people who do the best with manifesting and don't feel like they're spinning their wheels or having false hope or feeling like, they're delusional are people who are focused on doing the inner work because it's for them. And the people who are having a harder time with all that are it's almost like they're efforting to get an external result. You are not efforting to get an external result. This is the flip you have to really consider taking. You can do it that way. It will work, but it's so much easier when you understand and really ponder and take on the idea. I'm doing this inside of me because I want to feel better. I want to think better. I want to identify better with something, right? When you make it yourself the goal, your feelings are the goal, not how do I get reality to change. It's so much easier, and then you don't feel delusional or have false hope because that's based on looking externally. Delusional, false hope is based on thinking more about the external than the internal. If you were just doing it to feel better, you wouldn't have false hope because you would be feeling better immediately and you'd be like, oh, look, I succeeded. So that's one thing. I will go into a bigger video about it, but I just want to put this in here as well because especially for someone who might be wanting to manifest something that no one's ever done before and you want to be the first, this is a really good thing. You want to come into a self-identity of that person for you to feel it. And yes, you can still, in all manifesting, be aware of what's going on externally and noticing if it's happened or not to make slight adjustments if needed. But ultimately, it's an inside job. It's an inner world job. It's an inner thought job. It's in your feelings. It's in your inner world. And so you have to find ways to think, to feel better, think to identify better. I just saw a video where someone said, it was like, I think it was Dr. Joe Dispenza said, what thoughts are you not going to have in your future self? Like, what thoughts do you not want to have in your future version of you? So translate this to, the version of you that has what you want, what thoughts are not going to be present there? Identify those here and now and reduce them. Say goodbye to them. You know, it's okay to reduce your thoughts and get rid of them, because ultimately manifesting is aligning with what you want. It's internally thoughts, feelings, beliefs, perspective relating to something. It's aligning and matching the outcome that you want internally, no matter what's going on out here. But it's also reducing the alignment with a reality that you don't want, with an outcome that you don't want. So it's increasing your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings to match the outcome that you want, the havingness that you want, the identity that you want, the feeling that you want, the result that you want, while releasing, reducing, decreasing the thoughts that don't match it. So a lot of times manifestors, especially more beginner and intermediate manifestors, have trouble because they're doing everything right. They are aligning, right? But in the meantime, they're not decreasing their negative thoughts. And they're not negative. Let's not say negative and positive. They are not aligned with the outcome is what it really is. So it's ultimately thinking, is this thought aligned with my result? Would I have this thought? Would I want this thought? Would I think this thought, this feeling, this belief, if I had what I wanted? If not, work on reducing it. And reducing it is, you know, there's lots of different ways to do it. Mental diet is really great. And again, I'm going to make another video about all of this, but I just wanted to like put this out there right now for you guys. There's a first time for everything. That is the solution. If you are afraid, well, other people can do it. What about me? Well, if they can do it, I can do it. There's a first time for everything. And then also, if no one else has ever done it, there's the first time it's going to be done. And I'm going to be the first person to do it. And I'm going to self-identify as that person. I'm the first one. I'm the trailblazer. I'm the pioneer. Blah, 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 whatever. So I hope this helps you guys. Happy manifesting. Look for the other video about false hope and feeling delusional. I will be getting to that soon. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Happy manifesting.